Okay, yeah, guys. Don't go by Sonic Team Racing. Sonic Team Racing is complete shit. Viewers are saying that it's mediocre, and even Sonic fans are saying that it's not the best and it has lack of variety. The only person who likes this game is E from the Bohemian Productions. He said that, in the game that with the Sonic and Sega All-Stars game, he felt alienated and uncomfortable. Hell, you don't have to know all the Sega characters or references to play it. Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing gave you options to play with both the Sonic characters and the Sega characters. This game is merely more than just a shitty, mediocre, crappy racing game with no variety, and it's just a Mario Kart clone. I mean, the best thing about Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing series is that it was not only a Sonic go-kart racer, but it was the first to have a crossover with other Sega franchises. I mean, you don't see Nintendo doing it. They didn't do it until like somewhere around 2 years ago in 2015. But you know what? Sega did it first. And it really irks me to hear because we have so many potential to put all these newer Sega characters, tracks, music, and ideas, and more characters to represent their not only their franchises but their respective consoles throughout Sega history. I mean, instead of Wreck-It Ralph and Danica Patrick, why we couldn't have the Fantasy Star characters, or at least some of the characters from Fantasy Star Online? Fantasy Star is still relevant with Sega. Well, it's not relevant to the West, but it's still relevant in Japan. And in the first Fantasy Star game, you could travel through, futuristic jeeps, rockets, airplanes, all sorts of vehicles. Same thing with Fantasy Star Online. They could at least added a Fantasy Star character in the game, or at least a character from the treasure lines of games, like maybe Dynamite Headdy or some of the characters from Gunstar Heroes, or hell, I wouldn't mind a working designs character like Luna, like the cast. Also, speaking of characters that were on the Master System, if you don't have enough room for Billy Hatcher, you could at least add one of the protagonists from the Wonder Boy series. Like, where is Shion? Or better yet, where's Asha? And basically, Asha was basically the Shantae of the Wonder Boy series before, Shantae was a thing. And she has this big Pegalo monster called Pego. That would have been an awesome concept riding on the creature. Besides Orta riding on her dragon, of course. And if this is going to be a Sonic-only racing game, why didn't add all the Sonic characters? This roster is complete crap. They should have done what Sonic Heroes did. They could have Team Sonic, Team Dark. We could have Team Chaotic instead of Team Vector. Like SBO, Charmy, and Vector. Like, SBO and Charmy's not even in this game. Heck, even the game mentions why Charmy and SBO wasn't even in the game.
There, done. By the way, where's the rest of your detective agency, Vector? SBO and Charmy. Why aren't you guys a team?
I'm out here freelancing. Yeah, that's it. Trying to make a little extra coin.
Okay, but remember, I'm watching you. No funny business.
Where the hell is Cream? You replace them with the Chows from, the Sonic series. When it comes to Team Rose, it was usually Amy, Big, and Cream. Like, where's Mighty? Where's Ray the Flying Squirrel? Honey the Cat? And you can't have a Sonic-only racer without the Babylon Rogue. I mean, granted, in the Sonic Riders games, they're only there for, getting the Lost Babylon treasure and there for the money. They weren't working with Eggman, but still, you can't have a Sonic-only racer without that trio. Because it's a darn shame, because the Sonic Riders games, minus the third games, are pretty underrated, badass Sonic racing games. And they also too have references to other Sega properties. Like for example, Sega Carnival actually has like fucking 5 references to Knights, Super Monkey Ball, Samba de Amigo, Crazy Taxi, and Space Channel 5 and Choo Choo Rocket. While, freaking the next game, Zero Gravity, has all these references to other Sega franchises. If you unlock 80s Boulevard, 90s Boulevard, 80s Boulevard is like a reference to like Alex Kidd, Space Harrier, and all these other kick-ass Sega games that were on the Master System and Game Gear. While 90s Boulevard actually has a lot of Sega references to, to the Saturn and Dreamcast, and of course the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive, from Sonic to Knights to Shenmue to Virtual On and Virtual Fighter. The only one, oh, and Crazy Taxi again. The only one that sort of sticked out was Jet Set Radio, because that came from the early 2000s, not 90s. I guess Sega didn't check their Wikipedia, but it did have a House of the Dead 2 poster. I understand not putting Toe Jam and Earl because, the creator Greg Johnson actually re-brought the rights, saying they were with Ryo Azuki, because Mr. Yu Suzuki actually brought the rights to Shenmue again. But where the heck is Vector Man? Where the heck is Kazuma Kiryu? And you're all gonna say, oh, but that will make the game rated M for mature. Oh, please. It will just have a T rating. Just a T for T. This new Sonic racing game is shit. The team mechanic makes no sense in this game. Why add a team mechanic? Oh, because if you win the race, you lose because your teammates were behind you. When I play a racing game, I play it because it's fast-paced and it's fun, and the objective is to be in first place. You don't see that in any other racer game, maybe except for Crash Nitro Kart. Speaking of Crash, I think Crash Team Racing this year is going to be a hell of a lot better than fucking Sonic Team Racing combined, and it's just going to make a massive dump over that game, because not only you got online, you also got different car customizations, you also got costumes and skins from the old Crash games, and also you can play as freaking Crunch out of all the things, and he wasn't even in Crash Team Racing at that point. Hell, who knows? You might get to play as Spyro or any other Activision character like the Soldier from the Call of Duty games. Yeah, Crash Team Racing, in my opinion, is probably going to be the best racing game of this year. Sonic Team Racing is just a crappy, bland, and generic go-kart racer you can get on the PS4 just about on any console. Plus, they fucking butchered the characters' personalities. Please don't watch Sonic Team Racing Overdrive. Hell, Sonic Mania Adventures is slightly better, but even then, that's not pushing it. I seen way better Sonic fan animations and sprite animations on YouTube from Sonic Paradox to the Sonic Odd Show. Like, what happened to Tails with his smart, badass inventor self, willing to be learning to be more independent and not relying on Sonic? And what happened to fucking Knuckles with his determination and huge responsibility on protecting the Master Emerald and his island? Yeah, he was slowing ahead at times, but he was naive. Not a generic idiot. He was naive. And plus, Shadow at this point became a crappy meme about goths and emos in general. While in Sonic Adventure 2, he promised Maria that he will protect the Earth and the people who relied in the Earth, because he thought that it was the right thing to do. And plus, throughout the Sonic series, mainly in the Archie comics, he joined Gun because of that. He joined basically a government agency, of course. Don't get me started on Dr. Eggman. He used to be this badass, most threatening, villain throughout the series. Sonic and Sonic and Friends' greatest adversaries yet. He was the most menacing villain in the series, always roboticizing, anthropomorphic creatures and small animals into robots. Eggman wasn't there to be messed with, but now in Sonic Team Overdrive, he's just a freaking clown. And don't get me started on Amy. I know Amy had a huge crush on Sonic. However, though, Amy, well, minus Sally Acorn from the Archie comics, was basically the voice of reason in the Sonic games, especially in Sonic Adventure 2. For the new voice cast, I'm not really feeling it. I still say the Adventure voice cast is the best, in my opinion, especially with Ryan Drummond and Scott Dreyer voicing Sonic and Knuckles. Well, if I had to say one thing, I have doubts they're going to get David Humphrey to voice Shadow. So I wouldn't mind Jason Griffith voicing Shadow again. But that's pretty much about it. Now, out of all the things, I don't know why they replaced Quentin Flynn with the person who voices Cat Noir from Miraculous Ladybug, which is also a guilty pleasure of mine. The voice acting in that game is shit. The story is just bland, generic, mediocre. It's just basically this anthropomorphic fat tiger named Don Duplod, which I thought at the time he was classic Robotnik, but he's not really. Setting up a generic racing competition, and Sonic and Friends just want to go there. This is basically Sonic's R plot, but if they just trim the fat and put skunk piss over it. Ending's really nothing special. Basically, Eggman finds Don Duplon's hidden base, and he rams over with the egg fleet, and it's basically Sonic and Friends going to stop him. Freaking Don DePaul should have been classic Robotnik in disguise, because you all remember in Sonic Mania, near the end of the good ending of Encore mode, we saw Eggman, well, classic Eggman, basically go through the rift of the Phantom Ruby, and we all thought he was going to go in the modern Sonic's world one last time. But no, it's a crappy ending. So the story is just a sack of balls. Team Overdrive, Team Sonic Racing Overdrive just fucking butchered the characters, and it wasn't fun. Hell, just go watch Sonic Odd Shows or Sonic Paradox. Those videos are more hilarious than that. Oh, that's all I gotta say. Digital Sumo, if you're watching this, if you're gonna make another Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, please add the characters we never got before, especially Vector Man, Kazuma Kiryu, and maybe other characters that have not been representative in the game, like Azel or Tillis or whoever you can think of, or hell, Blaze Fielding. I don't know if Sega still owns the rights to Streets of Rage, but I think Gamecube is somewhat affiliated with Sega, seeing how they are making Streets of Rage 4. So yeah. Oh, and if you're gonna work with Capcom on making a racing game, please make it like a crossover racing game with Mega Man and Capcom characters. 'Cause Mega Man barely gets any racing games. The only one we got was Battle and Chase. How awesome would it be to play as Dante in his motorcycle from Devil May Cry 2? But that's all I gotta say. This is a Zell 98, and don't worry, my top 7 things I want in the Panzer Dragoon remake is just coming soon. I'm sorry that this video isn't perfect. This is very unscripted, but yeah, I'll see you guys later.